So I just got off a meeting talking with some other people who are going through medication withdrawal, and I think about why. Like, why are there so many more medications for antidepressants and benzos written than ever before, and yet the amount of mental illness, depression, and anxiety keeps increasing every year? And by the way, if I'm talking a little weird in this video, I just had oral surgery on my mouth yesterday, so I feel kind of numb and it hurts. But I wanted to make a video about this because it's interesting to me, just as an observer and somebody who's been through a lot of mental illness issues and deals with this on a daily basis with people. Why do we have so many more medications written every single year, yet the prevalence and severity of mental illness keeps increasing? Why is that? And I know there could be a lot of reasons, and I'm sure there are a lot of reasons for that. And it's probably very nuanced. There's probably very many factors that go into why an individual struggles with a mental illness, and that could be genetic factors, trauma-related issues. So I don't want to overgeneralize this or make it seem like it's a more simple issue than it is, because it's many facets to why somebody suffers with a mental illness. But just generally speaking, maybe from a societal view, why do we, what's going on that so many people are struggling with mental illnesses, and what's the solution? Because apparently our current solution doesn't seem to be working very well. And I don't want to come off as anti-psychiatry or saying that nobody ever for any reason should take medication, because I'm not of that stance. However, I am highly critical of psychiatry and our current medical system in treating people with mental illness, because there's so much that's not working and we need to take a look at. So one of the main issues that I see is treating people with a potentially life-altering substance, i.e. a medication, after only having visited with somebody very briefly. And let me give you an example. Somebody that I know very, very close went to their family doctor just recently and was asked about their mental health, and they said, yeah, they're dealing with some depression. And the doctor, without asking any other questions, asked this person, well, are you interested in taking an antidepressant? And this is a young person too. This is a minor. And don't you think, if we're taking somebody and we're going to try to help them in some way with their mental health, instead of the first line of treatment being a medication, wouldn't you ask some more in-depth questions? Wouldn't you spend some time with this person? I mean, if it was just you, and you're not a medical provider, but maybe you are, wouldn't you ask this person, what sort of lifestyle choices are you making? Are you getting sunlight? Are you getting exercise? What's your diet like? And then asking them, have you had issues in your past that you think may have contributed to your current state of mental health that maybe you need to look into with a professional? I think those are all really important questions to ask somebody, instead of saying, well, here's a possible solution. You can have this pill and this will fix it for you. It's if we're going to say, that mental health is a complex, multifaceted, multi-pronged issue, then I think we have to have the same sort of solution. We have to have the same sort of approach in looking for a possible remedy for the situation. So having a pill fix the issue is an oversimplification to me of what the problem is. I think these problems run deep. I think, again, getting back to this issue at a societal level, I know this has been talked about, and it's easy to say, well, our lifestyles today are so fast-paced, and we weren't meant to be living like this, and yes, that's all very true. We're not given time to slow down. Our societies right now are not built to facilitate healing or mental health. or well-being in any respect. We are conditioned as a society to produce, run, go, gain more, buy more, consume more, and we've lost touch with a lot of really, really important things. I mean, take the example of childbirth. I mean, if you have a child today, you're expected to throw the kid in daycare, and then right now, with things the way they are, most parents have to go back and work right away. Like, is that right? Is that how we should be doing things? Or if somebody close to you dies suddenly, do you have a chance to grieve that person? Do you have a chance to really slow down and do the necessary internal healing work to really go in and grieve that person adequately and take the time necessary to heal from that? No, I mean, we can't. We don't have that luxury. And it shouldn't be a luxury. That should be a human right to have that time to do that. And to take the time necessary to heal from trauma. If you grew up with a lot of trauma, that takes time. And I think that's my main point, is healing work is not something that happens overnight. Healing work takes time. Healing work is not something that's going to be fixed with a pill. Whatever sort of mental illness you're dealing with. I'm not saying don't take medication. Maybe medication is part of your healing journey. I don't know. I think we live in such a quick fix society, and that has translated to medicine and to our mental health. We want something, and we're sold something that says it's going to fix us. And this is where pharmaceutical companies come in and tell us, hey, we've got the solution for you. Here it is. This is what you need. You need this medication, and this is what's going to fix you. And honestly, again, we don't have the time or the luxury to sit down and say, what's really underneath all this? Because we're raising kids, or we're working, or we've got jobs and careers, and life moves too fast to sit down and take time and to actually do some real internal healing work. And even if you do have that luxury, it's still a challenge. So it's much easier to take a pill that's going to try to blunt your symptoms, whatever they are, and just kind of gloss over it and then try to go on with your life. But we're at a point now where that's not working. It's not working anymore. All these issues that we've been trying to cover up for a long time now are still bubbling to the surface, maybe more so than they ever have. And people are genuinely dissatisfied and genuinely hurting and need help and need healing, deep healing, not just gloss over it with a pill, not just cover it up with a cheap-ass Band-Aid. We need something that's actually getting down inside of people's spirit and lifting them up and actually helping to heal people. And again, this is not an overnight matter. And I know I'm speaking very generally, but that's because everybody's so nuanced and everybody's so different, and that's why I talk to people all the time when I say there is no one size fits all to a healing process. We are different. And to be able to hold space for each other and understand that everybody is coming from a slightly different place, and really taking time to understand where somebody's coming from and to feel where they're coming from, that takes time. And that takes some dedication, and it takes some care to feel that with somebody. And that's been lost for a lot of us. It's been completely lost. And this is something that takes slowing down. This is something that takes insight. This is something that takes empathy and care for healing to really happen. And so, sometimes I get accused of being anti-psychiatry, and yeah, I mean, fuck yeah, in a lot of ways I am anti-psychiatry. And in some ways I still allow for the fact that, yeah, somebody might need medication, and that's not for me to decide. I'm not going to stand in somebody's way of advocating for themselves if they feel like a medication and psychiatry is the way to go, and maybe it is for some people. So again, if I'm going to claim that we are all so nuanced and different, then I have to allow room for psychiatry to be a part of that. What I am against, though, is the overprescribing of medications to people, particularly when somebody comes into a doctor's office with a real mental health issue, and our only solution is to throw pills at that person and send them on their way because we don't have the time or the care or the compassion or the empathy or the give a shit to sit down with that person. And it frustrates the shit out of me because I hate seeing this happen to people over and over again. And I think how many people right now are put on medications that are really just barely buoying them at the surface, when underneath all of that, there's so many trauma-related issues. There's so much underneath it that needs to be dug up and explored and looked at. And I think that right now is a time in history where we really need to be looking at different solutions. And I think there are different solutions coming to the surface, but they're coming too slow and they're not available enough for us. And our society is still moving way too fast for people to be able to slow down and do necessary healing work. I think in the subsequent generations, I think we'll get there, and I think we're getting there, again, very slowly. Anyway, I think my rant is done. My mouth hurts really bad, so I'm going to go take some Tylenol. I hope this video made sense. It's more of kind of a reflection on just what I feel like I see right now going on in medicine and with kind of just humanity in general. And I hope that as time goes on, I hope that we can start to make some honest, real changes in the ways that we live and the ways that we relate to each other, and certainly in psychiatry and medicine, because we have a massive, massive deficit of treating mental health worldwide. And I hope that we can make some really, really good progress in the years ahead to really facilitate healing in people. So I hope that you guys are doing well. I wish you all well on your healing journeys. If you're looking for coaching, visit the description box below. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.